Motivation. Motivation is our topic tonight. So, I always have a choice. I have choices. So like when people see the way I eat and they're just like, oh, she can't have that, she can't have that. I can have anything I want. Anything I want. I can put my face right in a pie if I want. But I'm making a choice. I'm making a choice not to do that. And when it really feels like a solid choice and there's no negotiations, that's the thing. It's so hard to stay motivated when you're always trying to negotiate with yourself. Oh, just this time. Oh, I was good yesterday, so I can have this today. As soon as the negotiations start to surface, it's just hard to pull back from negotiating, because my history shows me that I can negotiate myself out of anything, okay, when it comes to this. So it's just not even an idea. It's not even an idea. Like yesterday we were all at Max Apples, which is a farm stand right next door, and I was joyful to go over there. We all walked over there together. It was like a little field trip on the meetup, because like right next door to the church is this Max Apples, and it's usually full of produce. There was like no produce. It's the wrong time of season, because last year we were here in August. So we went there in August when everything was being harvested. There was all these veggies to buy. They were beautiful, and so yeah, they're all still in the ground, But there's all kinds of goodies there, and it's not even like I walk through and I'm not like envious of anybody else. Like, have it, and I don't even look down on. I don't think like, oh, look at these ones eating ice cream. That don't they know that's bad for them? I take nobody's inventory except my own. It's my own. I don't want the ice cream because, yes, one ice cream wouldn't kill me. I mean, when people say like, oh, one wouldn't kill you, it wouldn't kill me at all. But it's going to send me into a whole series of negotiations and more exceptions, and then it snowballs, and then I'm up 60. That's how it looks for me. And I don't want any gosh darn health issues. I mean, I don't want it. I don't have it right now, and if I do end up with health issues, I would like them to not be because of me and my neglect. I mean, I know I'm not indestructible. I realize that. And I don't even think like, if I found out tomorrow I have cancer, I wouldn't think like, all I do to take care of myself, and I get freaking cancer. And all those ladies eating ice cream over there, they don't have cancer, It's kind of like, I don't know, like, because I'm in this environment. We all live in an environment that can be toxic, the environment, the air I breathe, the water I drink. I mean, I do the best I can, but I'm not going to live in a bubble, and I know I'm not indestructible. But I know that I can destroy myself. Very simply, there's a lot of things in the grocery store that can destroy me, and it's not going to be because of me. So I would say the biggest benefit that I have in my life by staying on this food plan is comfort. Just to be comfortable. And I'm not, I can bend, I can get up, I'm not carrying around the extra weight, because I carried around a lot of weight, and it's not easy. Everything just feels like so much more effort, and I don't have to tax myself with that effort, So how do I stay motivated? I want this more than I want that ice cream. I want this. And there's a value in this that's just more valuable than anything. In my opinion, what could be more valuable than spending your day in a body that you can carry around comfortably, you can do things comfortably, and you can feel healthy. And I just feel like from the foods I choose, and I'm always, all this produce that I eat, and it's because, and I wouldn't eat this much produce if I didn't put it on the scale and weigh it, because it would just start getting smaller and smaller, and then the sweet potato would get bigger and bigger, you know. And I know the games because I played them all, you know. And I want 2 pounds of vegetables a day. And I think I feel it in my skin. I feel it in my eyes. I feel it in my sleep. I feel it in my hair. Like everything just feels brighter and better. And that's how I stay motivated. I'm not motivated by, oh, I came from disease and now I'm well. You know, I know a lot of people here, and I look forward to hearing from all of you tonight that have gone from disease to wellness, or to dropping medications and feeling better, and those are huge motivations. I don't want that back again. But I don't know, God spared me all of that. I don't even have no idea how I was in that health, the rate I was going. God spared me, any kind of illnesses and diseases. I don't know how I spared it. I was just like, between the drinking I did, I'm like, my liver was such a trooper, I tell you, that it managed through all the drinking I did, and all that smoking I did, and just I'm not coughing my lungs out, and then 241 pounds was my top weight, and I don't have to carry that weight around anymore. And I don't know, I was just initially I was motivated because I wanted the cute jeans. That was my motivation. Mm-hmm. I want cute clothes and cute jeans and cute skirts and but that only gets you so much mileage, because if that's your main motivation, for me that's kind of like a side benefit. That's your main motivation. It's just not powerful enough. You just have to want to be like the best you can be, and live in vibrancy, and live in health and well-being, and just that feeling of serving yourself well. You're just taking good care of yourself. Just feels so good, like making all these decisions for myself that are good for me, and physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually. It's kind of a package deal. It all kind of works together. The Tuesday night meeting and this meeting, it all kind of works together, So that's how I stay motivated. I don't want to be preoccupied with food. I don't want to be preoccupied with hating myself or failing again and disappointing myself and why did I do that again? Oh, I said I wasn't going to do it. I said I wasn't going to have an ice cream, and then there I am. I just don't have to do that anymore, And there's a real gift in that. There's a freedom in that. And a lot of people say, like, this looks so restrictive what you do. It's like everything got to go on the scale, and I got to take my Tupperware to a wedding, and da-da-da-da. It looks like restriction, but I tell you, it is nothing but 100% freedom. 100. That's why I go to that wedding and enjoy that wedding, because I'm taking my food with me. That's why when I leave that wedding, I feel good. I'm not hungover. I'm not up 5 pounds. I'm not, I go there and I enjoy the wedding, and it doesn't matter about the food they have, and I don't even want to know what they have, and it doesn't even matter what they have, and I don't want it. I just want what I have, and then I go and enjoy the wedding. And that's what my focus is on, and it's just a better life. It's a better life. So what about you, Nicole?
Well, I can really relate to all of that. I think for me, motivation, it's just, dawned on me when I found your video, Lulu, that my future path was very, very clear what it was going to be if I kept on the way I was keeping on. And I'm 56 now, but I was 55 when I first saw your video, and I weighed 281 pounds, and my top was 312, and I thought, I'm moving that direction again, and when am I ever going to take care of this? When am I ever going to really, really just get serious and change my life? And, I watched, I was lucky. I had really good numbers, medical numbers. All of those were always really good except for my weight. But I knew I was pushing my luck. And I could just see by looking around me and my family somewhat and in society going, it is going to catch up to me in mobility ability, being able to do anything I want. And beyond that, just so health wise for sure, like I watched my grandma who was overweight, just sort of like not drastically, but like slide out of her chair and end up on the floor. And that resulted in the fire department having to come because, lifting anyone is hard. And if you're overweight, you can't really lift yourself up as well when you're older. So I saw that, but I also saw like my grandma's struggle their entire adult lives with being overweight, up until like, 80s, and going on diets, and working on it. And my grandmas were super important to me. Very, very much like heart grandmas that I related to so well. And to see that, like, I could very well spend my entire life until it's time to check out at an old age, if I'm lucky, dieting and hoping and wishing that this plan will work. And what I loved about everything you said in your weight loss video, Lulu, is it just resonated with me as just, this is the truth. Eating a healthy, balanced diet is the truth, and not saying you can dabble every once in a while, because for me that never worked. All the other plans didn't work, right? Like Weight Watchers, I saved all my points so I could eat the naughty things, the bad things, the junk food. And, and I even would think I'll try to exercise more to get more points so I can eat the bad food. I didn't make that switch. Like, I'm not taking care of myself by doing this. I just felt like, doing a diet or finding a new plan or seeing someone who lost weight and asking them what they did, that I could just start doing that. And I would feel like I'm doing something, but getting nowhere. And then the other part of that motivation, that what keeps me motivated now, is how terrible I felt every single day, and depressed about my weight, and upset about different things that would happen to me or that I would encounter, like having a hard time fitting into something, not clothes, but like a booth, or always having to like orchestrate what's going to happen with my size when I go somewhere, and just also the sluggishness that I felt and the sugar coma kind of thing every day. My days were really filled with just feeling really poorly physically and exhausted, and trying, like, just saving my energy for work and the key things I needed to do, and then really just being wiped out. So remembering that, like, I always think, you see things like, don't look back, you're not going that way. Well, I like to look back because just to remember, like, I don't ever want that again. I don't want to forget about how that felt, because that's what kind of keeps me going every single day. And now it's the great feelings I have, the energy I have. I'm never wondering, like, like, what am I going to eat at that thing I'm going to? I know what I'm going to eat. It's my food that I bring. I'm going to go to that thing because it's fun. Like my stepmom just emailed me today, what can we have for you for the 4th? And I'm like, nothing. I'm bringing my own food, but what can I bring for the group? So I'm not thinking about like, oh yeah, I want to have this and I'm thinking about the people I'll see, and that will be really fun. And so that's already changed for me, where the focus isn't food. I don't care what they're eating. I'm just so glad I can bring my own, and that, it'll be right for me. And it means that I won't lose any ground that I've gained anymore. Whatever happens, whatever party's going on, whatever, thing I've been invited to. So the self-respect that you get when you finally start taking care of yourself is like the most amazing thing. Like finding, like, just discovering that you're worthy of being really taken care of and no monkey business. I love that. So that keeps me motivated. Seeing off is certainly a thrill, but it's almost like secondary to the feeling I have. Now, if I was gaining, that would change, of course. But it's secondary because I already feel so much better. I felt better right away, and I just keep feeling better and better. I don't want to lose that ever. So those are the things that motivate me. I know we did a call a long time ago about what's my why. And I loved that one because, you know, if you haven't ever thought about what's your why, I would encourage you to do that and even write it down and listen to that earlier recording, because I think some of these things resonate with all of us. Like, we all want a healthy body so that we can have a healthy life and really love ourselves finally. So that's what motivates me.
Yeah, Nicole. So you've been here since day one, which was we started this in December, wasn't it? Right after Christmas? Is that when we started this group?
We started it right after Christmas. Yep. Mm-hmm.
2 Christmases ago. So it's been like
not
a year
last Christmas, but the Christmas before.
Right.
Yep.
And what's your total weight loss? Because you've been on it since then, haven't you? Pretty much.
I have 93.6 pounds down.
Nice. That's awesome. Look at you. You're so cute.
Well, as I say, I still have a ways to go, but it seems unreal. And I know, like Pam has mentioned this before too, like, you just can't even believe this. Like, if I could just snap my fingers and have that back, I think I would fall down, like in disbelief and then in pain, of course. But it's like, it's just so hard to believe that you just take care of yourself and you follow a healthy food plan and it works. You know, it really works. So yeah. Yep.
Yeah, you've been a great motivation to so many of us here, you know. And it's like you know, what you said that really resonated with me was when you said, like, you know, I don't need to look back and forget about it. You don't forget about it. Sometimes it's important to remember it, because it's just kind of like, oh yeah. And if I forgot all about that pain and that's like nothing, I wouldn't even be doing this group. It would just be something off my thing. But it's very fresh with me. And I think that, you know, I think it's very important for people to hear about the dark past, you know, because you can kind of, resonate with it yourself and say, like, wow, like, that sounds like me, you know, and like, yeah, I want to change too. And there's just no reason. How many people on here have said, like, one day I was just like, geez, if they can all do it, why can't I do it? And it's like, you can. You just can. Just the choice, right?
Yeah, and it really helps when it's a real person that you know too. So of course we didn't know you, Lulu, when you started this, but it resonated, and that's why we're all here, right? Because it resonated with us. And there are people, like, in some of our lives, I know that they see the weight loss and like, what are you doing? You know, and you give them the plan, they're like, oh, yeah. You know.
Exactly, yep.
Because they're at a different stage, you know what I mean? I would have done that maybe, you know, 5 years ago, or maybe 3 years ago. I would have been like, oh, I don't want to do that, you know, because I wasn't really serious, like saying, when are you going to decide? And when is that going to ever be if you know, you could continue this for the rest of your life? So yeah, I think having people, you know, in this group really just is such a wonderful, supportive group. So many caring people that care about me and I care about them, and we care about each other. We're not walking this path alone. It's just incredible, incredibly supportive.
Yeah, it is. It's a great group. Yeah.
So yeah, I'm excited to hear about others and their motivation. So let's see, we have Sherry Seattle.
Hey, Sherry.
Hey, Lulu. Hey, Nicole. Everybody. Good to see you all. This is such an emotional topic. You know, I'm going to try to get through this. I don't know if I can express it correctly. I've been trying to figure out, how do I say this? There are many people in my life that need me right now and rely on me for different, you know, reasons. And many of them, it has a lot to do with their health and the way they take care of themselves or haven't. And I have, you know, like the multiple facets of that. It's the fact that I feel I don't have the luxury to not be healthy. I have to be here for these people. And I don't think that I should want them to live the way I'm living. I don't have expectations that they're going to all give up things that they love in order to live the way I live, I guess, be as healthy as I am now. And I'm so grateful. And, but, you know, so I will never say to anybody, you know, that's not good for you, or you're putting poison in your face. This is, you know, this is who they are, and this is what they love. And I'm not going to, I take care of me, and that allows me to help them. And that is my motivation. That is one of my motivations. But there are so many things along this path that keep me motivated. Every time I pass my reflection and I double take, like, that is not me. That is me. It's exciting. Every time I try something on, I always choose a size too big. It's, you know, I cannot believe that I am this small person now. This so much smaller than I was. I'm a normal sized person, and I wear normal sized clothing, and I am so healthy. I am strong. It has encouraged me, just the snowball effect has, one thing leads to another. I wanted to make sure that other areas besides my weight were healthy, and I went to a naturopath and had tests done, and found anything that was deficient, and got suggestions for supplements. And I'm on I'm the food plan, I'm the supplement plan, and then I went to Planet Fitness and asked for help in strengthening my bone mass density and my muscles. And I am now on an exercise program. So I'm kind of, I'm living Lulu's life here. I'm loving this. You're so inspirational. And there's more, but I'm running out of emotion. I'm going to let somebody else speak.
Oh, Sherry, you've been here since the very beginning, haven't you? Pretty close. You've been around.
Yeah, I have. Because I remember you telling us about it, telling us you were going to start this group, and I was so excited about it. But I don't get to make it every time, and I have been here every time I can be, and I didn't start seriously eating the food plan for a few months. You know, I didn't start 100% until April 23rd of 2024. And
how much have you lost? What's your total weight loss?
64 pounds.
Wow.
Well, I know that's not a lot.
No, that's a lot. What are you kidding me?
That's a lot. But what's huge is it's not coming back. You know, it's always coming back.
So how long how long have you been on maintenance? You've been on maintenance a while.
Let's see, only 2 months.
Okay. But maintaining for 2 months, I know myself, all the times I've lost weight in my life, I would maintain it for like 15 minutes.
Right.
And then I'd be on my way back. Yeah. Having it off.
It's not over.
Yeah. And that's what we learn here is, like, what you do to lose it, you do the same to maintain it. You just tweak it a little bit. You just need a couple little extra things. You don't start adding on a brownie and a cookie. You know, you just add on more healthy food until your weight stabilizes. And that's what you've been doing.
I don't want a brownie.
No.
I don't want a cookie. It's shocking to me.
And like your skin looks so healthy.
Can I interject?
You just look so healthy.
I just looked up
Here.
A 9-year-old child should weigh around 64 pounds. So
There you
you've
go.
lost a 9-year-old.
You lost a 9-year-old,
Don't say
Sherry.
only 64 pounds.
That's a
I
lot.
love it. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. So happy for you, Sherry.
Thank you.
Good stuff. Next up, we have Liz.
Hi, Liz.
Hi.
Oh,
Well, I'm going to try not to get emotional too, but mine's not for a positive reason. I feel like I need to say this out loud. I keep starting and stopping. And I just got done with a family vacation. And I'm the heaviest weight I've ever been. And on our family vacations, we always do outdoor activity. And I really struggled. I could not hike or bike like we always do. And so I'm kind of at a low point. But I feel like if I say it out loud, I will stick to this. And I'm feeling kind of, well, like they all just went home. So I guess I'm partly emotional because these are people that I really love. But you could see the concern in their eyes. They're all fit and healthy. And I am not. So I just wanted to say it out loud to hold myself accountable. Because I do it a week or two and then I slip and then I don't. But I really know I've been very committed to a lot of things in my life, my marriage, my children, my job, and been successful. But with this one, I just have to really commit. And I know it's a matter of flipping that switch and doing it. Nobody can do it for me. But so I'm saying here, I need to, I am doing it. That's it.
so what happens after a couple of weeks is you start negotiating.
Yeah, I'll do really well for a week and then something will come up where we go out or I'll say, well, I'll buy it. Yes, I start the negotiating. I'll get a dinner out or like with this visit, people were here. So I picked up all the sandwiches and I let other things get in the way of my commitment.
Right. There you go. That's it. You just, you put this first, like this comes first. This whole meetup, everything, the whole itinerary, everything is scheduled around my meals.
I know what that.
Because it's like, it's mine, and that's just, this is when I eat and I plan for it. And I know there's a lot of people that have meetups and they do buffets, they do potlucks and they have cocktails and they have big ice cream parties, and I don't do that because I don't promote that, but I also, you can be eating anything you want at my meetups. It's not like that's
Yeah.
But it's just like you gotta love yourself too much to be doing that,
Well, this is the heaviest I've ever been, and I cannot believe how uncomfortable in my body I feel.
And
it's horrible.
Yeah, and it's not just that physical discomfort, but the way that you feel right up here, like just feeling emotional about it, and just saying, just always, I can remember so clearly, just always disappointed in myself. Like, damn, I started again. I screwed it up again. I screwed it up again. Why do I keep not choosing me?
I appreciate.
One day you gotta just choose Liz, and and you'll see that nobody really cares that you're choosing you. Nobody's like, oh, come on, and just I just remember at the beginning, I'd just be like, I wouldn't say like I'm on a diet and I can't go, I can't eat that. I just say, I've just been kind of on this kind of health kick, and I'm gonna keep going with it. I don't want any blips. And I just call it a health kick, or I'm just, and oh yeah, who knows, maybe next week, but I'm in my head going, not next week, but
I think my biggest struggle, honestly, is the addiction I have to the calming effect food has on me.
Right.
It's the satiation is calming, and then that melted cheese calms my mind and my brain down, and I have to figure out a different way to do it.
And that's called addiction.
Yes.
Yeah. Because that's the same reason why somebody, an alcoholic has a drink, or a smoker has a cigarette. It's like, it's that whole,
That's it, exactly.
Feeding, because I had all three going on at the same time. The food and the alcohol and the cigarettes. I was like an addict machine. you know?
I know, I wish I could just,
You would,
I can't even imagine.
and you know, it's like, I don't even know how I had time for anything else. Because I mean, I'm actively doing this stuff all day long. And it was like, there wasn't any time to have like a real life, you know?
Mhm.
So, and when I wasn't doing it, like those 2 weeks that you're doing it, if you're struggling through it, like if it always feels like a fight, that's no way to live. That's why 2 weeks later you're like, frig it, because it's like you're just giving up the struggle to go for that calm, you know.
Mhm.
But it's about you know, when you get to a place when you can get past the cravings, the physical cravings, when you can get past that, then you can just be like, okay, I'm doing this today because this is what I'm choosing for myself, and I don't want to do anything else but this today, you know? And then the next day you're just like, I'm going to do it again, because I'm sure after 2 weeks you feel good, right?
Yes.
When
Yes.
before you blow it, you feel
Yep.
you're going like, it doesn't take, you don't have to wait 6 months to feel good. People feel
No.
good 24 hours later. It's almost kind of like this shift in the thinking where you start thinking like, wow, I took care of myself today. I'm a woman of my word today. I said I was going to do this and I did it, you know, instead of I said I was going to do this and then I said, frig it, you know. So there's something that feels really good about that. There's something very calming about that.
I appreciate
You know
that.
what I'm saying? So
Yes.
your
I
day
appreciate-
will come. Your day will come. You just keep coming, and you
I will
know,
report back.
yeah. Let us know.
Okay.
You know,
Thank you.
and just stay close by, and
Thank
just
you.
you know, talk to us on Facebook, email me if
I
you just want to
appreciate
chat. Okay.
Okay, I really do appreciate that.
Will you email me before you make any decisions that you might be sorry for?
If I'm up pacing and can't calm down, I will email you.
Email me. Okay. Okay. You'll be like, remember me?
Thank you.
Okay, Liz.
Thanks for sharing that, Liz.
Yes.
And we can all totally relate to that. Next, we have Janet in Florida.
Janice!
Yay!
Hey, Janice!
I've gotten so I love it when we cancel yoga.
Oh, yeah. 'Cause she can
I
make
love
it
my
happen.
yoga, but anyway.
Yeah.
And I'm a good one to follow, Liz, because I have so much to say about motivation and how I shifted myself. You know, I kind of had a big motivation reality check last winter and spring because I had lost a lot of weight, 85 pounds or 100 pounds or something like that. Got on your plan, Lulu, as soon as you put it out because it was just me. I was trying to make the other stuff work that way with the healthy stuff, and it just worked. But then I started that little creeping of you know, a little fruit here, a little extra ounce here, and all that stuff, and started to eat sugar, and oh my God, that is the devil. But so I had this big, what does priority even mean? What does commitment even mean? And in kind of working through that, I journal a lot, and I did a lot of journaling around it. I came to the conclusion that if I want to live my highest and best life, which is my goal, my highest and best life in every aspect of being my healthiest self, I have to realize that everything matters. Everything matters. It matters, you know, if I'm home all day by myself, it matters that I have my lunch ready because first thing in the morning, because I might get caught up with something and now I'm tired and weary or out or whatever it is. So it matters to me to have that lunch ready. It matters to me. Here's a great example. This group, it's so supportive. It feeds my soul to be with other people that are as serious as I am about this plan and this life. It's just a gift. It's a gift of connection. So I also have the priority of this yoga thing I do, which is also a priority to living my highest and best life. So I'm like, how can I have my commitment to the food plate the group, the Zoom, and to my yoga. So when I had this little problem in the spring, I had gone to my doctor. I gained 15 pounds, which about killed me after losing all that weight. So I go to my doctor, and my doctor and I get talking, and we start talking about a support person. So I reach out, and I get somebody in the group who's been a wonderful support to me. And I think it's mostly me talking to myself, using somebody as the means to do that, and that whole accountability. So that made a big impact. The other impact was, how could I participate in the Zoom thing? So thank goodness y'all started recording them, because I do watch and respond to that Zoom recording. But I also made the commitment that when we don't have yoga, this is right there coming behind it, and not in terms of its second, but I have an opening to participate, to take it. Don't be like I have a night off. Be like, oh no, I've got the food thing tonight. And make that equal priority to yoga, even if it is as my when yoga's canceled kind of mentality. The other thing that I did that really helped me, and you've all probably seen me out there on Facebook, is I have been way more active in connecting on Facebook with you all. So I try to respond. I try to put my stuff out there. I try to have an active presence on Facebook, because that is my way to connect, since y'all can't live with me and be with me at every meal and every time a thought comes in my head. So it just connects me to I hate to use this kind of mushy language, but like to a sisterhood of comparable thinking about living my highest and best life. It just feels good that there's people there. Now, I think we're in a variety of places on the journey, and in a way that kind of motivates me, because in some ways, right now I'm doing really well, and it feels good. When I'm feeling weak, there's people stronger than I am. So I kind of like that we're all in different places with different issues and all that kind of stuff. But that reality check really, really helped me. I don't want to go back where I was. I was recently traveling, and in my backpack I had my 2 meals as Nicole coached me for travel day. And my backpack probably weighed 20 pounds or something like that. And I'm walking through the airport and I'm complaining about it. And I said to myself, what are you complaining about 20 pounds of food? That's the right food when you were carrying 85 more pounds of your body through the airport. So, it's like I had this little that's nothing. That's nothing to make it, but everything matters to me. It doesn't matter to the rest of the world. Like, I would always be in that explaining, like if I did something social about why I couldn't eat or why I was bringing my food, even when I got to the point of doing my own food, I got to the point of, it doesn't even matter. They don't care. They really don't care what I'm eating. And in fact, I gave Nicole this story recently of my brother. We had gone out a couple of times recently. The first time he told me how great the barbecue place was and the food was fabulous. And of course, it was all food I wouldn't eat. The second time, he sends me the menu of the restaurant to let me know what I was up against. And then this last time we went out, here's what he says to me: Janet, this would be a great place. You could just bring your own food. It'll be fine. I have taught my brother to, this is what I'm doing. Yeah. This is what I'm doing. But it all matters. The spirituality piece, the taking time in the morning to pause and think about, where am I and where are my vulnerabilities today? I like comfort of people, and food gave me that a lot. So sometimes I say to myself, like, why do I want to eat blueberries on the way to bed when I was dozing in the chair and couldn't wait to get to bed? I'm tired. I'm not hungry. I'm tired. So now I can kind of have those talks in my head to get me past the kitchen, because it's not, food was a substitute for something else. So I just I agree with you, Lulu. I love how I feel, and I can't believe it sometimes. Whoever said they sold their shadow or whatever, sometimes I see that. I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe it. I mean, I have more weight to lose. I've lost about 100 pounds total at this moment in time. And my great story I'll end with is 3 months ago when I went to the doctor, I just bared my soul to her about I was struggling, and that's where we came up with some plan to how I could proceed. So I went for the 3-month follow-up this week, and when I went this week, I had lost 18 pounds since that 3 months ago, and boy, that was like back and more. So I don't want to go back now. So I feel like my commitment is stronger because I saw how easy eating the right food, healthy food, meals, controlling a lot of right things, how it still creeped me back to bad habits and comfort that was not internal or spiritual ways to nourish myself. So I can't thank you enough, Lulu, for putting your stuff out and yourself out, because it's such a doable, real plan. That's my stuff. It's the way I want to live. It's my food. I love to cook. This doesn't take anything away from that because I cook every day almost. Great food. So it is all that. But I guess in summary, I would say for me, motivation is about everything matters. Everything, whether it's a blueberry, whether it's the weight of the food, whether it's how I prepare myself, but it's by preparing food or my head, it's just everything matters, connecting and participating fully in the plan and in the group, because we're in it together. And I thank all of you because it's a journey I need companionship on.
Well said. Well said, Janet. Everything matters. Everything matters. It matters. That's you put it very well. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Janet.
Thank you all.
Next, we have Liz.
Hi, Liz.
Hi, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Can you hear me now?
Liz was here.
Okay.
Liz was here.
I was.
You were here on Tuesday. Were you here on Wednesday?
Yes. The second day I left.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, we missed you.
She's doing better. I'll see you tomorrow again, and
Okay.
prayers for everybody in need.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you're a good friend. It was a friend, right? A friend?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Well,
So close that she's like a sister.
sister.
You know. So
Yeah.
sister.
Yeah. Well, we
But I
missed you
can't get her
here.
on this. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Motivation. I've got 3 F's for motivation, and they're not what you think. The first one is family. I have the best family. I have 2 sons that are grown up. I have 2 grandchildren that are not grown up. They're just a joy, you know. And yes, it's true. It's nice to send them back home. We're going to have a sleepover Saturday, and we're going to use the air mattress, and maybe we'll have a tent. We don't know yet. We'll see what the weather brings. But so that'll keep anybody busy and thinking about why we should live a little bit longer, you know. Sticking with the family thing, I'm going to turn 70 in a month, and my dad passed at 71. So I have had thoughts, what if I were to pass at 71? What do I want to make this last year, like my last hurrah? What would I do? Where would I go, if anything? You know, who do I want to, you know, be with, and why do I want to be here, and what do I want to leave behind and stuff? So all that is really comforting now to me. It's been 25 years since he's passed, but now it's a comfort to think of him and all that I got, you know, from mom and dad. And so that's all part of motivation, what's motivating me. On the flip side of that is the second F, which is fear. I'm not ready to go anywhere. And I do want to go many places. So I do want to travel. And a lot of the fear, like my friend is ill, can't be my traveling buddy anymore. And so it's me, myself, and I. No, not necessarily. There's all you ladies out there. Then I understand there are these little butterflies out there too that, share the adventure feeling that they want to travel and stuff, and talking to the few ladies I did when I was at your meeting, there's a lot of nice travelers out there, and yeah, the world is an open book, and I really want to read this one. So that comes to the third F is friendships. It's amazing how fast your friendships can come and go. And it isn't that you want to always make a best friend or anything. It's just the same thread of adventure, I'll say again, that goes through you, that you share with these other people. And it doesn't even matter what their past was or what their present life is. It's just this adventurous feeling that they have and you share with them, and that connects you. And it is like a spiritual journey with that also, it's intertwined with all of this. So yeah, making the change to eat healthy is a major priority and a major commitment, which I never was really great with. I'm still struggling a bit, but I'm doing better, much better, and it's showing, and I'm feeling it. And so I just like this therapy also that I get every 2 days a week, and all for free. Don't have to worry about what insurance I have. And I don't know. I just really am glad I came across all you gals, and I want to thank you for that, and thank you for sharing, because it does make a difference to all us out here, and so it's all good. Yeah.
That's nice. Now, so Liz, when you talk about your family and being with the grandchildren and being with these friendships and being with fellow travelers, how do you imagine doing all that and making yourself a priority as far as, because a lot of that involves food. A lot of it involves food. Yeah. So
Right.
how do you?
Tupperware.
Huh? Tupperware. Yeah.
Tupperware.
Yeah. So you feel strong through that, like these. It just feels like a lot of social, and so do you feel challenged by it, or do you feel like do you feel solid?
I don't feel solid. I feel a bit challenged because I am in having to cook in a bit of an abundance, and then learning to split it up ahead of time. It helps a lot, get the meals ready ahead, even a day or two ahead. I'm trying to get there. Usually it's morning is like no problem breakfast, that's my oatmeal and fruit and coffee. I'm still with that coffee, and I don't want to give that up. And but the next two, when I make the lunch, I make the supper. And so when I travel, I will pack it and kind of plan along. Now that I've done this little bit of travel here to go to the meetup, it gave me an idea. I did bring too much, both food and clothing. And, so now I have a much better idea of what I can handle or should handle out on the road, especially if I don't have hookups. So, I maybe get a little generator. I'm thinking of changing my rig altogether, but that's nothing that's going to happen overnight. Because, that was a quick buy. But anyway, I think I want something smaller. like all the vans I saw, you know, and it's like, wow. And the cars I saw, it's like, really? These were itty bitty tiny, you know, and then when the door or side of a van is open and you look inside it, they have everything they need in that 4 wheels, you know, and it's amazing. I can do it. I could do that. You know, I don't need this, you know, big clunker I have out here, you know. But yeah, I think it'll be challenging to travel and go far away from, you know, like out of New England, you know, because I think right now I'm just shooting out here and there in New England, and that's fine. But I'd like my next trip to be down to Florida. I have a sister and a couple friends down there, and relatives, and you know, so I would have a few places, and I understand the state parks, and I've looked them up, are really beautiful. I'd like to, you know, see a couple myself, you know. So yes, yeah, that's my motivation.
Good. And just serve yourself well along the way, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Always put that first. Always choose you first. Yep.
Yeah, we all should.
Yep. Absolutely.
Yes.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Liz.
So I thank you. You're welcome.
Thank you, Liz.
You're welcome.
Does anybody else want to share anything on motivation?
Something else I can add is I regret. I hold regrets. And when I think of those regrets, the things that I didn't do with my kids because I didn't want to swim with them when they were learning how to swim, when they were children. I missed this huge opportunity to do that. And so many things when they were playing outside and I was too big to do certain things. And I carry those regrets, and that also keeps me motivated. I am now spending time with my now adult children, and we do things together that wouldn't have been able to do. And so, that's another motivator.
Okay, Stace. Hello. So,
Hey, Stace.
hi. So I wanted to say I posted something in the chat that I came across and then had posted it elsewhere too, that said the only person that's coming to save you is the version of yourself that's tired of your current situation. And I thought I sort of love the idea of being like my own like sort of knightess in shining armor, that's saving me from the tower of destruction, self-destruction. And then the other thing there's two other things I wanted to say. For me, preparation sometimes precedes motivation. So if I can't be motivated, I just prepare, because if I don't prepare, then if you don't prepare, you prepare to fail. So sometimes if the motivation isn't there, I just prepare, and I just do it because I need to be prepared. If I don't prepare and the motivation's not there, we're in trouble. But if I can do the preparation first, even without the motivation, without this idea, I'm setting myself already for a better outcome. And then the other thing I wanted to offer to people that are struggling, because I've struggled, and people that know me well in this group know that I've been struggling, is do something. Just do something. Add more vegetables. If you're not doing the plan at all and it resonates with you and you're showing up to these meetings, just start. Get a scale and weigh so you can see what it looks like. Do it for one meal. Just start and build, on that start. If you can dive all the way in, you'll probably see the results and the success sooner. But if you're struggling, don't think it has to be 100% perfect to be the start of your motivation, the start of building, the start of change. So if it's cutting out the sugar, I'm done with, sugar's out. I'm done with the flour. And that's what you do. You're going to be so closer to getting the brain calm and And then you can, celebrate that and then build on it. And if you are in this group and you're showing up week after week, and, I don't share every time, I listen and I get so much from everybody. But even when you're struggling, when people get on and struggle and share their struggles, we're not alone. We didn't get to this point by having it all figured out. If we did, we wouldn't need Lulu. We wouldn't need these plans. We've all done everything. I've done, you name it, I've tried it. So if you're here and it's resonating with you, keep showing up and share your struggles, even if you've been 100% and all of a sudden you have a struggle. Because this is really a safe, supportive place, and I have found that, numerous times. So anyway, that's what I wanted to share about motivation and preparation and and being your own your own savior. Coming and saving yourself. And I think we've said before, choose yourself. Choose yourself. So
That's great, Stacy. You're right though about being prepared, because if you're not motivated and you're not prepared, you're pretty much screwed. Yeah. So at least if you prepare, you might get the motivation just from what you've prepared for. And just to say, I prepared all this, and what am I not going to eat it? I'm going to go eat something else. And do I want to deal with that disappointment? So yeah, I've always got to prepare. This morning, I was, before I even got out of my van, I put my lunch together, my dinner together. And that takes time, all the slicing and dicing and weighing and measuring. Then I realized I didn't have enough chicken, so I got some chicken out. I got my frying pan out, and I started sauteing the chicken, because I was like, I need it. This just comes first, and I don't plan anything at my meetups before 10 o'clock, because I need a few hours to just prepare, and yep. So that was very good advice. Prepare.
Yeah, when I find my motivation is low, making good choices becomes more challenging. So if I at least focus on the preparation, and if I'm going through some stuff, it's there. It just makes that easier. Because again, sometimes it's just the struggle of it feels too hard when it's really not, because we know it's usually assembling a meal, but it still feels hard. But if I've prepared it and my motivation is low, I'm not going to make anything else because my motivation is low. I'm going to do something, that I don't want to do, or I'm not going to eat at all, which is also not what I want to do. But if it's sitting there prepared, I'll probably sit down and eat and be like, oh, now I feel better. I've got energy and I've ate something healthy. So, yeah. So anyway, yeah.
Good. Thanks, Stace.
Yes, thank you, Stace. Next we have Chris.
Hey, Chris.
Hi, everyone.
Hey, Chris.
I so love everything that I've heard this evening. I wanted to add something to what Stace said about preparation if you don't feel motivated. And for me, preparation can look differently. So sometimes, we are on this plan. We know what we have to do. We know that in my case, if I have everything prepped at least for 4 days, because I work full time, it's better. But there are times, especially when you're just diving into it, and even when you've been on the journey for a while, where you just don't even have the motivation to prep, to ensure that stuff is there. And what I've always done is I have my backup. And my backup is going to be either frozen vegetables, cans of beans, but they're always at the ready, so that there's always a good choice for me to make. Because otherwise, you're going to flounder. If you can't get in there and chop all your fresh vegetables and prep your beans or your meat or whatever it is you're doing, if you don't have something that you can go to in what I would call an emergency, if you prefer to eat your food freshly made, then you will definitely flounder. And when we talk about motivation, and I've mentioned this before, is for me, it's getting off many of the medications that I was on. And, if you find a doctor who will work with you, great. Most doctors are going to say that if you're a diabetic, you will always take insulin once you've started insulin. Well, I'm not taking insulin anymore. I've been off of insulin for years now. So you can't turn it around. you can turn it around. You know, my H1C was the lowest it had ever been when I did blood work at the end of last year. And so it does, some people, it happens a lot faster. For me, it's taking its time, but I know I'm getting there. But even though that's my end goal, I'm just focusing on what I have to do every day. This is what I have to do every day. I'm committed to it. Some days are tough, and most of you know that the struggle with vaping was horrendous. And as Lulu said, they had to talk me off the ledge. It wasn't even a whole ledge, it was half a ledge. I was on with my fingers like this, hanging on. But even for me, I knew that I had to do something because my cough was ridiculous. And I was going crazy on fruits, an extraordinary, because I was so miserable. Even, you know, it's like, I don't know who I'll be if I can't put that and vape, because I can vape 24 hours. I can vape in my office. Nobody bothers me. And even that, you know, Lulu said at the beginning, you got to stay on track. Once you get on track, don't deviate. Even for me, it's hard, because even I got that, and Lulu, you sent me a beautiful message that you believe that tomorrow I will eat the amount of fruit I'm supposed to. And it's like, yeah, I'm going to do that. But the body has already felt the effects of that overabundance of sugar, even though it's natural sugar. Even though it's natural sugar. You know, I listened to you talk about, I forgot your name, about not doing things with your children because... Sherry, you know, like swimming and stuff. And for me, that was always a preoccupation. But I was still out there. You know, I had other issues where I would wear really oversized things. So I would go out to the beach because I was out there with my daughter, and I'd have on oversized clothes over ugly fitting bathing suits, as though I was hiding from someone. We're really not hiding, because when you get in there and it gets wet and it clings to all the bulges, it's just a whole mess. It's a whole mess, right? And, you know, you're having to look in the mirror, it's like, oh my gosh, but, you know, but I'm moving in the right direction. And, you know, I think the older we get, you just don't care. I don't care. It's getting better in terms of the whole package, in terms of how I feel, how much longer hopefully I'll live, how much more active I can be, you know, get on my bicycle and ride. You know, right now, I think it's the overabundance of sugar that I had my knees flared up, and I'm in physical therapy. You know, just crazy. You know, I have a knee problem, but hasn't been, you know, troubling me that much. So get help and encouragement from our group. It doesn't matter how many times you come back. Doesn't matter how many times you flail. We're here for each other. You know, just keep coming back. Many of you saw me. I was at my wit's end a couple of weeks ago. Was at my wit's end. This is the place where I could let it out. This is the place where, if it was possible, there would be something that could be said that would be encouraging. This is the place that I know everyone gets it. I've never had that before in any setting for anything I've tried to do in my life. So it's really, really precious. So just keep at it. Keep at it. We're all here for each other. Just keep at it.
Oh, you are an inspiration, Chris. What's your total loss?
I think it's like 121, but not 20 in the 20s. But of course, I put on 4. Not good, right? But I need to calculate what it is since I joined this group in January of last year, because of course, you know, I had put on an enormous amount during those COVID years, because slide down the slope. Once you slide down the slope, it's a mess.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Good job. Excellent. Yeah, I'm so grateful that you got off that vape and that you got the fruit in line, and that was your little blip.
Yeah. And you remember I tried it last year? I had tried to go down on the nicotine and I was struggling, and then I thought maybe it's not the right time. You know, it was, but there's never going to be a right time.
Yeah, I was going to say, it turns out there's never a right time. Yeah, so the right time is always now. Yeah. It's so great
Yeah.
that you've done that. That's amazing. Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that, Chris, and being here. I mean, I think it could be tempting to not show up if you're not doing well, but then that's not really what this group is about. It's support for anything that's going on. So thank you for.
And there's no judgment. Nobody's judging that. You feel that you've messed up or you've let yourself down. Nobody's judging. Yeah. We're just all here to say, okay, let's see how you can get you back on the road that you want to be on. So that's important.
And like, what does quitting vaping have to do with healthy food, healthy life? It has a lot to do with it. Because when you're fighting that, like when Liz was talking earlier about that, that just going for that soothing comfort thing, and then like it's just, and that's what that was. Now that's gone.
I really felt that. I felt that in her.
Yeah. Didn't you feel it in relation to the whole vape thing that you went through?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So it does have to do with it because it's just addiction as a whole, and one affects the other. Like it's kind of like you play whack-a-mole with them. Like one goes down, the two go up, and this is like I'm just either like I'm starving myself and I got like I'm on fire smoking cigarettes. You know what I mean? It's like it was just like they always just like was whack-a-mole. So it does. They all have to do with each other. So it was totally appropriate to talk about that because, putting down that comfort, good thing you didn't go too far picking up comfort with getting yourself totally off plan because that would have been really hard to recover from, So good job. Yay.
Yay.
PMA.
I just wanted to, I was thinking this whole time about, because I can't think of, my motivation right now is different than what it was at the beginning. Because the current motivation is, I don't even look at it as a plan or it's just what I do. It's just the food I eat. Like it's not a thing I'm doing. It's just the normal, what I do normal now. And the motivation is the amount of energy and ability I have to participate in my life. I think the motivation in the beginning, almost 2 years ago, a lot of it started with that move, which was a devastating thing that I went through, and not being able to participate in watching friends and family and friends of friends come out to help me because I couldn't do anything for myself. And then we started the book study that summer, right after I moved in here. And I started learning more about loving myself. And then I had that incident of wanting to go so badly to the pool. And it's like a 2-second walk, and I couldn't walk it. And I had to go out to my car and take my car, and then my car didn't start. So that was, I think, the initial kind of straw that broke the camel's back of being that heavy for the period of time I was. And then I was doing okay, and then I was doing the 80%. Holidays came, you could taste the cookie, but you didn't eat a whole cookie. And then in January, I flew to Colorado, couldn't fit in the seat, couldn't fit the seat belt, was just a packed flight. I just felt like crying the whole time. And then just being there and not being able to keep up with doing anything. We went for a little hike and I couldn't breathe. I couldn't do anything. And then that's when I got on board 100% with after reaching out to Lulu. And ever since then, it just feels, the motivation is just, I feel great and I can participate in my life. that I don't really see that there is another way to do anything. I think. Yeah. So that's it.
Yeah. And Pam, like, how active are you now? The woman that couldn't walk 2 seconds to the pool, and the woman that was all out of breath. What's going on?
I can't stay still. I drive everybody crazy because I can't stay still. Where are you now? What are you doing now?
Oh, wow.
I'm packing to move again. So I've got packing going on. I've started an art project. I'm refinishing a furniture. I'm just doing everything I want to do, and
Yeah.
all at the same time.
And what's your weight loss total?
I'm not sure to the number, but it's a little over 130.
That's big.
That's yeah.
And share with us for those the people that are new here, the changes in your health and your the different things that changed.
Well, I've gotten off diabetes medicine, most of the blood pressure medicine. I've cut. I think that's 2 diabetes medicines and 2 blood pressure medicines, and are gone. A couple of them, they're going to be with me for life, and I just have to accept that, and that's fine. But my A1C is well into the normal range. My blood pressure is completely good. I'm still struggling with the liver crap, but we can't figure it out, so I don't know.
But you're down medications. You would and they just one at a time. They just slowly started, like, you didn't need this anymore, you didn't need that anymore.
No, it was like maybe 6 months, 9 months. The first, like, half of blood pressure half of one of the 3 I was on, and then it was in increments, in small increments, because it's almost 2 years that I started. September 7th is 2 years. So it's, I think about that, and I'm like, when you start, you think like, oh, is this ever going to be over? It's going to take so long to lose this weight. And now it just feels like 2 years. I don't think it was 2 years. Like, it seems kind of ridiculous. It just went so fast. It doesn't feel like it was this long, drawn-out thing.
Yeah.
So.
And you look so good. Your skin looks really good. Like,
I like all my curls.
Yeah, you got good curls.
My hair feels very healthy.
Hair feels healthy.
One of my son from Colorado, when he came at Christmas time, that was one of the first things he noticed, was like, Mom, your hair looks so curly and healthy. Because it was just so dry and scraggly and brittle and disgusting.
Because you were unhealthy.
Just very unhealthy. Yeah.
Wow.
So.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how when you're on a diet, time doesn't seem to go fast.
No.
But it really drags, because you're like, oh, I hate this, and but this really is. It's like it's the plan to change your life. It's not a diet.
Right, and just to remember
and then
that
time too, it goes like that.
Yeah, if you look at it more like it just kind of a whole lifestyle switch. Just you're not trying to lose weight. You're not trying to get your numbers better. You just want to eat this way because you feel great. And
I call it a new design. It's a
new
design for living.
Yeah.
It's a new design for living. Yeah. It's just a rearrangement of priorities and just knowing what I need by reviewing my history. It's like, how about if we don't do all that shit again? Like, how many times do I have to do that? How many times do I have to do that to know where it's going to end?
Right.
And I love how all of us here, we're all everybody that's in maintenance is doing the same thing that everybody that's losing is doing. We're not, we haven't moved on to, baked goods categories, and we're all doing the same thing. So when you see us in maintenance, from those of you that are still in the process, it must just feel like, I'm looking forward to finishing, but I'm not looking forward to treats.
Right.
Because that's not
there is no finish. There's no finish.
There's no finish line. It's the new design. Yeah. It's just a new design. Yeah.
Right.
You've redesigned your life.
Yeah, and I don't have any reason to not do it any differently.
Yeah.
Because I enjoy everything I do. I enjoy every bite of food I eat.
Yeah.
There's nothing on it that says, "Oh, I would love to have that instead."
Yeah.
I don't know if your taste. I don't know how that all happens,
Yeah.
but it happens.
It happens. Yep. You got to be patient for it. You have to get through. You got to get through the withdrawals.
The rough
You got to
stuff,
get through the rough stuff. It's, everybody that's just starting. I always say, like, if the first couple of weeks it really sucks and it's really hard, that's just how it goes. That's what happens.
Right.
It's not easy to flush all that stuff out of your system. It's just like, an alcoholic that's going to quit drinking.
Mm-hmm.
It's a rough road until you get to a place where you've redesigned your life, that it doesn't include getting drunk every day and you're doing that, going to bars and all that stuff. So you just redesign your life,
Right.
And I didn't
Find
know
something new to do.
Yeah, I didn't know how I was going to live without cigarettes. Just like Chris with the vaping.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know I was like, what am I going to do with myself? Like, all the fun people are out smoking on the porch. Am I going to stay inside?
Yeah. Well, and it's like when 3:30, 4 o'clock rolls around, and I would normally have been, I'm just getting hungry. I just need to have a little snack. Nope. Now I just go. That's when we go out for a walk, even if it's 15 minutes. I take the dog. It doesn't have to be a long walk for burning calories but once I come back in, I'm over it.
Right.
And that's just my new 4 o'clock habit.
Yeah.
Instead of reaching for even a piece of fruit, it doesn't matter.
Right.
I just created something new.
Right. Yeah.
So.
Because you don't have to act on every feeling of hunger. Hunger, I always say, hunger is not like painful.
Mm-mm.
It's just a God-given signal that says it's almost time to eat. And when you've gone too far, you will likely feel lightheaded, dizzy, or weak.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't feel lightheaded, dizzy, or weak, you're not going to be able to go. If you feel lightheaded, dizzy, or weak, you're not going to go walk the dog because you're going to be dizzy, lightheaded, or weak.
Right.
So you're not dizzy, lightheaded, or weak. You're just feeling hungry. That's because it's an hour till dinner. It's close to dinner time. You're supposed to be
hungry.
Yeah, and it's just like, you can manage it. Yeah, I can remember like being like, oh, I'm so hungry, and then like the phone rings and you answer and it's a friend, and like 2 hours later you're talking, you forgot all about your hunger. You know what I mean? So it's just like, it's not even, hunger is even something that you can be distracted from, like a walk with the dog or something, and just get distracted from it. If I'm feeling dizzy, lightheaded, or weak, it just means that I don't have enough food. Maybe if I feel like that all the time, maybe my food plan needs to be a little different, because nobody should feel any of those. And I felt those on diets that I've been on in the past, because I've been on stuff where I wasn't eating, like when Nicole was talking about like the Weight Watchers and saving all the points for a treat, and so then you're undernourished. Mm-hmm. And you're really not getting the nourishment, and that's when your body's going to be like, please feed me, and that's when you'll start getting a little dizzy, lightheaded, or weak.
Right.
And I know that feeling. And then I would be like, oh, I have to have something for this, and then I'd go have cake. Yeah. So now it's just like, oh, my stomach is growling. That's what happens when it's almost time to eat.
Right.
And I don't have to act on it. It's not like it's excruciating pain. It's just a signal. Yeah. Good job, Pam. Yay!
Thank you.
Yay!
Yay, everybody! Yay, everybody!
Okay, we've got Tammy.
Okay, I just wanted to really quick say thank you for somebody who's just been on this for right around a month, that in looking for motivation, that you are my motivation. When I hear Pam and Sherry and Chris and Liz and Nicole and Lulu and all of you guys talk about, I mean, it's possible, and if you do it and you hang in there and you follow the plan, that you too can be successful. So you are my motivation, and I really appreciate these stories. Are very helpful for me. Thanks.
Oh, good. So glad to have you, Tammy.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks. Happy to be here.
Good.